Welcome in, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Brad Penovich here. It is Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and the big weather story is not even a local story. It's a national story, a historic blizzard in the Northeast, which we're going to talk a lot about in tonight's show, and it has a lot of indirect impacts on our weather here locally. But let's start with a view outside right now. This is our camera from the WCNC studios off the Billy Graham Parkway. You may notice light reflecting off the buildings. That's because we still have twilight. Sunset tonight was 6:13. It's been rare that we've done this show this time of year and actually can see daylight, but we sure can. And it is a great evening out there, albeit very cold. And that's the story locally. Chilly conditions. It's a snap back to winter after record-breaking heat last week. Remember on Friday, we set an all-time record high for the month of February, 83 degrees. Never been that warm in the month of February. We've had a couple 82s, 3 of them in fact, but then we had that 83 on Friday. So just a rare event. This is more typical. It's still below average, but it's supposed to be cold and windy in February. It's not supposed to be 83 degrees. We will see some changes starting tomorrow. Cool, slightly milder. You're going to have to wait till late this week to really see a significant warm up. Now in the mountains, we do have snow falling. Up in North Carolina mountains, there's still winter storm warnings in effect. In fact, let me pull up the Boone camera real quickly here and show you the snow is still falling in Boone, but the roads, boy, that looks really bad. Boone is like, the camera is not liking us, so let's try Blowing Rock. It might be a little bit better. I swear that Boone is still there. It is just a glitch in our camera. So let's show you the Blowing Rock camera here. Hopefully it'll work. There we go. You can still see it snowing, but look at the roads. They look a lot better than they did this morning when it looked like a sheet of ice up there. I was actually looking at the cameras first thing this morning, and travel was not great in the mountains this morning, so that's why you had so many school delays and closures. Our nor'easter, low pressure, blizzard, bomb cyclone, give it all the different names. People love bomb cyclone, but that has nothing really to do with the impacts. It just has to do with how quickly it intensified. So this is really just a glorified giant blizzard, and it is one of the all-time blizzards up in the Northeast. Around it, we are seeing that strong northwest flow. That's why it's so windy here. A low-pressure system like that is what we call very deep. So what's happening is air is trying to rush to fill in that lowness in the atmosphere, that lower valley. And so high pressure trying to rush into that to fill it is like water running down the side of a mountain. In this case, it's in the atmosphere. High pressure is trying to flow to low pressure, so the winds are really fast, and that's why we're seeing the gusty winds out there right now. There's the snow. Still snowing in Boston and Providence. We're going to talk a lot about this area tonight with Tim, because I think Providence is going to absolutely obliterate that record. They already shattered the all-time snowfall record. They're up to 36 inches. The old record was 28.5, I believe, from the blizzard of 1978. I think they could get to 40 inches by the time this is all said and done, which would be absolutely insane. Cold air, that's the story for us. We see all the cold air moving into our region, and so tonight, really cold. Make sure you bundle up heading out there tonight because temperatures will be falling down into the 20s. The winds, thankfully, are subsiding just slightly. It's even colder now than it was last night at this time. So we're starting to see those temperatures tumble. But by the time you get up tomorrow morning, we're looking at low 20s. So really hard freeze and still some wind, not as crazy as today, but a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind is still going to cause wind chills to be about 5 to 10 degrees above. So pretty cold air tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, we're looking at temperatures climbing slowly back to near 50, but we'll probably spend most of the day in the upper 40s. The key part here will be the clouds. The more clouds we have, the less chance we have of getting to 50 degrees. As we take a look at that nor'easter, it's moving away, but another system already on its heels coming in with a quick shot of snow. It's almost like a clipper system coming in for Wednesday. But then Thursday, Friday, an even larger system, which will impact us in the form of rain. And yes, probably some pretty warm temperatures. We'll actually see temperatures in the 60s. But tonight, snow is going to continue, I think, until about 7 a.m. tomorrow. So we might see more delays and closures tomorrow. That fast-moving system on Wednesday does bring another round of snow to the mountains. And then you start to see this system on Thursday. Not a lot of rain for us. It looks like it's all kind of north and west. So I'm hoping this shifts south just a little bit because we need the rain. I mean, the drought conditions are getting pretty bad. We're starting to see water restrictions in a lot of locations. I drove across the I-77 bridge over Lake Norman this past weekend, and some of the coves, the water levels are so incredibly low. We need some moisture, and boy, do we need it bad. But if you like warm air, And who doesn't? We're going to get it back here pretty quickly, especially after last week's little tease. I think people got excited for spring. We're not quite there yet, but this will be another surge of warmer air. Probably not as warm as last week, but you're looking at more 60s to near 70 degrees. In fact, I think we'll hit 70 this upcoming weekend, likely some low 70s on Sunday. Here's a look at that weekend forecast. I know it's Monday, but it's never too early to look at the weekend. 66 on Saturday, 73 on Sunday. That's going to be a nice day on Sunday. That's March 1st, by the way, which is hard to believe that it's already March 1st, but it is here, and that's the meteorological beginning of spring. We look at the long-range futurecast just to show you any rain in sight. I mean, any at all. If you look long range, I'd love to tell you there's a whole bunch heading our way. Not much. Thursday, Friday is probably our best chance, and then after that, not much of anything. I mean, maybe some rain next Wednesday, Thursday, but boy, could we use a big old system to just kind of camp out over the southeast and just give us a good soaking rain. Right now, hard to see any of that coming our way. So let's look at your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast first. Tomorrow, we got to bear through one more kind of cold day. 48 for a high, but 23 in the morning. Look how quickly it turns around for Wednesday, though. 40 for a low, which was basically our high today. Low 60s in the afternoon. Rain chances Thursday, Friday. Don't get too excited. Those rain chances are just a chance of seeing rain. They really don't talk anything about intensity or duration, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of it. By Saturday, Sunday, those temperatures warming back up into the 60s. There's Sunday, March 1st. 73 degrees, but we do cool down a little bit Monday into Tuesday into the 50s, but then back into the 60s for Wednesday and Thursday. You don't see a lot of rain in that 10-day forecast. You don't see a lot of cold air either. It's going to be pretty typical for this time of year. The average is now 37 and 59, but boy, could we use some rain. So it's all about the nor'easter and the blizzard in the northeast. We're going to talk a lot about that this evening. We've got several guests coming on, lots of pictures. Tim Buckley will be joining me from WFMY. That's coming up in 2 minutes right after the break, so stick around.